Hello and welcome back to Rome Total Realism, Imperium Surrectum. Before we continue with Lucius Cornelius Scipio and his conquest of Africa more or less single-handedly, I want to ask some questions and talk about some things I've done wrong. Again, in this alternate timeline, I've made the capital into Syracuse, or I guess rather, I've made Syracuse into the capital. And I've adjusted the tax everywhere to see how it stacks up, and I'm making less money now. I thought it would be because of corruption. If we come over here, I took a screenshot of the other one. The difference is that other as an expenditure goes up by about 6,500. Now, I assumed that was going to be corruption, that very large and important settlements like Rome and Capua and really my entire mainland territory would have had an increase in corruption due to being further away from my capital. But coming over to settlement details, corruption's just not shown here, like at all. And I don't know where it is shown is the problem. I don't know how to find anything about that other tab because corruption doesn't appear to be a part of settlements, and I'm sure it must be. And then coming back over to back over to finance, unlike the other ones, there's no drop-down menu for others. So if anyone can tell me how to look at corruption, and if that is what's causing this, I would love to hear that. But as it stands, I'm gonna go back to where I previously left you because this, it turns out, is not worth it economically. The reason I was looking at making Syracuse my capital is to fix these happiness issues. Typically, as Rome, I tend to make Syracuse my capital in the base game as well, because it's much closer to Carthage, and in the future, it's going to be much closer to the Balkans as well. It's just a more centralized location in my capital, and in the long run, I do want to make that change. But right now, it's not actually keeping anyone from rebelling, it's not actually helping me, it's costing me, as you can see, about 6,000 gold a turn. It's just not worth making the change. In the last episode, I was having some confusion. I edited out most of it because I figured I'd find out between videos. What exactly does Colony Italic 1 do? And I think the answer is this is strictly a prerequisite building unless you're in your native culture's region. I think that's the real answer. Colony 1 Italic is required for Colony 2. This description is just the description of all colony buildings, and it's completely inaccurate. And the reason I found out this was wrong is because I looked up guides, I couldn't find anything. And then I hovered over this stuff, which I could have sworn I had done previously, and I thought it just gave me the descriptions of the units. No, it tells me exactly what buildings I need to build them. And Histati are what I should have made my legions out of. The Principes are great, they're doing fantastic work. They require an additional tier of both barracks and colony, and that's so much harder to refuel that even going forward, I'm going to make my next infantry, my next legion, primarily out of Histati, just so they can be retrained more easily. Because Equites only require the colony tier 2. Principes are a bitch and a half to retrain. It's just not worth it. I'll be able to keep my legions going so much longer and making them so much easier if I were to use Histati instead of these Principes. But for now, I do want, as it will eventually be the center of my empire, to get to the point where I can train Principes in Syracuse. And Equites as well, I suppose. But for now, it has to build the Proconsul's Palace. I originally wanted to go straight for Greece with this army, but I think when I go for the Balkans, I want to launch a massive coordinated invasion. So what I'm going to do instead is have this army come up through the rebel territories and then take a new boat from said rebel territories up and around through Illyria to get to Greece. It'll probably just get to Epirus and then come back to be retrained, as likely as not. And in the spirit of knowing that I'm going to need to build units as better, cheaper garrisons over here, I think it might be time to build Roman recruitment and militia barracks back over here. If I were to take a look at Roman recruitment real quick and look at specifically these dudes, it just needs a first tier barracks or above. I imagine it still needs Roman recruitment, that's the tooltip I was on. But I'm going to queue this up here so that I can produce the shitty spearmen here and send them everywhere they need to be. And instead of building my next legion, I fully expect to be building just a great big pile of spearmen and start shipping them out to replace these garrisons. I'll need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 spearmen. And I'm going to make my next legion just by freeing up these garrisons, really. Anyway, that's enough talk about infrastructure and what I've been doing wrong. Let's go conquer someone. This looks like a real garrison at first. You see how many units are there, and you remember it's the remnants of that battle, and it's actually almost exclusively torn up skirmishing units and ranged units. They have no infantry corps whatsoever. It's 28 dudes of bad tier infantry. These cavalry units are mostly gone already. Do I have to fight it myself? I really don't. That's me extermination just like it always is. What did we lose for that? our cavalry, fuck. I think that means the war is going to slow down. The entire cavalry is going to head back to Carthage. Carthage is going to build a boat because God knows it can't build units, and that boat's going to take these shattered units away. Congratulations, archers. You are the garrison. Carthage, you need to step back.
Victory and glory!
Obviously, they're not thrilled about the state of things. Let's go ahead and start working on this. Low tax rate is not going to fix it. We knew it wasn't. We can repair all of that. That's all good stuff. Unlike some things here, like this new building and recruitment and all their other buildings. I'll be back with you in a second. And they have shrines to heathen gods. Of course, that can't be allowed to stand. Introduce them to the new real god, Saturn. And they're still furious with me, of course. Is this a draw-up battle? Or is the AI not going to come? Oh, the AI did come this time. Maybe forced draw-ups do still exist and it just didn't happen the first time? I wonder what that was about. Anyway, let's stack wipe this and conquer a city without sieging it. Our plan is to use our massive row of incredibly high-quality infantry and crush the enemy with them. It's very simple.
The enemy here.
Wait, are they coming to fight?
Infantry! Units! Units! Move! Move!
You guys have javelins or something? Oh, you do. Well, you won't have much for long.
General! Run!
In fact, just charge them. Everyone except you.
At the double! Hurry!
You're gonna circle around. I want to save my javelins with the cavalry. That's why I changed my mind on what I was doing there.
Quickly!
So we run out to here, and as soon as we're behind them, we're gonna do the charge. We don't want to lose our general here, obviously, and we want to make sure that we run this down completely. I'm surprised defeat's only a distinct possibility. This should be them rout when the charge hits, because, I mean, it's like they're in a good situation. Yeah. All right, boys, everyone just line up. Do not fire at will presently, though.
Hold your fire! General!
There are 5 men left. I suspect they're not going to make it.
Charge!
All right, I've attracted the attention of their generals, and there's only one guy left, so I'm going to go ahead and do the old run past my infantry line trick and see if they'll keep charging. Doesn't look like they're interested in it. That's fine. I'm just going to stand behind my infantry because they're not able to retreat and wait for everyone to get their breath back.
Units!
Now, it's very important that when I do this charge initially,
Units!
that I don't have one unit fighting their cav and that everyone throws their javelin simultaneously. And it looks like from here, that might not happen with everyone, but from here, it probably will.
Units! Fire!
Nope, not quite yet.
Double time!
There we go. Jesus Christ.
General is slain, and now his men fear us. It is time
Everyone,
to press
next
the
group.
attack. The gods be praised.
Oh my god, the fucking Pelums are so effective.
Fear, and now they flee.
Holy shit, no, I need that guy actually dead. Is just him gonna make it?
Now he flees the field.
I didn't get only the king.
This
That's so
is a
unfortunate.
heroic victory.
So close to a force roll up, but we killed like 31 out of 32 guys, and the 32nd one was the only one who mattered. That's a serious problem, because the plan was we're gonna squad wipe both of them. I believe we're now gonna walk into range of the city and get locked there, causing the one we just conquered to riot, guaranteed. Right? Yeah, that's so gross. You lucky bastard.
Besieging settlement, sir. Besieging
Well,
settlement,
riot
sir.
about it, Thugga. There's not anything I can do. The game has got me. This one guy's gonna hold... He's not holding the walls. I found elephants. Buy the elephants.
General.
We're going in. Holy shit, we're unstoppable now. I don't even care where the other units were. There were elephants.
Move, move.
So there's really not a lot to this battle. I have 36 elephants and he has one guy on a horse. So, I mean, you know how it goes.
Great gods.
We're gonna send all of our elephants to go fight the general, and I imagine we're not even gonna lose an elephant. Oh, they're shooting with arrows on the way too. That seems wholly gratuitous, but sure if you want to. The elephants are struggling to get there. Their pathfinding's not the best. What do you think he's thinking about right now? Because it's probably a very, very grim place to be in life. I suppose the moments before death usually are, right? Anyway, they're not doing great with the bows against him, so this should probably... They look so goofy. Just pushing him back. I would recommend landing a hit against him. Otherwise, it'll be relatively hard to kill him. There we go. Good job, elephants. It was not a heroic victory. What are you talking about? All right, that was incredible. Extermination, obviously. And disband all of these useless buildings. Let's figure out what we can do to get some broken Principes being shipped back to Rome here. We have 3 relatively small units of Principes that can leave to Carthage. If the general goes to Thuga, that's nowhere near good enough. They need a garrison too. And these guys are very unhappy to hear that he's left. But the repairs, well, not the repairs, the shrine to Saturn will be enough to get it fixed. Over here, we're still way off. Removing the first unit here doesn't have any effect. Removing the second unit doesn't have any effect. Thug is good now. The elephants are going back.
Onward!
Those are going to join the next legion. So we're gonna put all of this shit and the elephants on a boat to go reinforce a legion. That's gonna be pretty damn effective. Retinue expands, mercenary captain makes sense. And then we're just going to try to hold here with the Principes around and our general. This is still the stop of Cornelius Scipio's campaign, just because, like, we need to hold the land. We don't have an army to push forward with against Carthage. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Oh wait, this was this turn? They're ready to go? They can move? I thought that was last turn that we moved them. Or sorry, the other way around. I thought we had moved them this turn, not last turn. In that case, I'm still going to keep them going straight for Rome. No, I'm going to bring them back. I'm going to bring them back.
Set sail!
Just come pick up these guys now. Oh, they can't. That's fine. We'll pick them up next turn. And I'll actually take the second boat as well, just to make this fleet notably safer, as becoming very, very important to me. This unit does not need to be here, so it can get in the boats as well. Adrumentum definitely needs its garrison currently. I'm actually going to leave these Principes on the western frontier, even though I might not need them for happiness. Having 5 units of Principes and then some generals around, combined with mercs, will be enough to hold any future wars on this end. So how much is an elephant's costing me a turn, by the way? 2,500. We're still up for having conquered these 2 lands, and those elephants are going to be insane for tearing through the Balkans. By the way, we suddenly want to go to the Balkans. There are so many cities so close to each other that these elephants represent, like, I could start here in Athens and carve through 5 cities in 1 turn with elephants. It's going to be nuts. We're going to Greece.
General!
But I think that's the last thing in the turn. Quick check for this Armenian diplomat. How's that going? He's done. Cool. End of turn. That's a lot of movement for a boat. I suspect there's a general in it. Carthage is coming to stand menacingly in my territory. Admittedly, when they got this order, they might have thought it was that another full stack? That's bad news. I was not expecting Carthage to have a second full stack just wandering the desert, but here they are. Do you want peace? Because I'd be happy with that. Alliance trade rights map information. Is it just... Oh, wait a second. You're not the same people. Your name looks very similar, but it's not. Yeah, I'll take that handshake. You also have a horse. You have an M name that looks a lot like the Massiliae, but you had like extra S's and an E in there. You're someone else. All right, Armenia. I know you're somewhere. They're right there.
I shall speak with them at once.
Oh, cool. I can actually talk to them. I wasn't expecting it to work. Trade rights first.
A most generous proposal.
And then map for map, but like give me money about it. Sure.
Our thanks.
And now we're body blocks, so we have to go down to get anywhere else. I guess we're gonna go try to get trade rights with Parthia and Bactria, not that we'll ever be able to trade with them. Cornelius Scipio came of age in Rome, good decision. Some people come of age in crazy places. Now we can retrain this massive block, get more Principes, and send out a real army. 2 Equites, 7 Principes, 8 Principes, a lot of family members.
Fleet ready.
That's going to take the rebel settlements that are still in Italy and meet up here in case we need more help against Pannonia. You come here, drop them off.
Imperator.
Step over here and hide, I guess.
Fleet ready.
come back down for the next fleets, or to join up with future fleets, even just for safety. Here in Carthage, we're going to take, I think, literally all of this. I think we just need the governor. Yes. We're going to move up here. The elephants are going to pop in. We have 2 biremes. What do you have? You have 4 ships. Fucking terrifying. Let's go. I don't believe I'll get knocked entirely down in one fight. Every time I've ever done naval fights, it's taken forever to fully clear even relatively small fleets like this one. But I am, you know, a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not. Speaking of things that make me nervous, like, God, that's just a lot. That's just a lot. Hey, Brincapace. I think I can kill him. And looking at this, the play might be to just accept these places are rioting, because, I mean, yeah. General comes forward. We're not holding these. That's not possible.
Forward. General.
What do the mercs look like again? We have 11,000 credits. There's a new archer. Shit-tier javelin men to use as garrisons. What's your upkeep? Lower than you'd expect for a horse. We're buying it all.
Attack.
Cool. Gonna fight this and try to kill both of those family members, then throw a random trash garrison into one of the cities and hold Carthage there and waste their time. All right, so the plan is we're just gonna shoot bows at them and they're gonna respond. They don't appear to want to respond. I mean, I'll empty my entire archer's ammunition into them. I have no reason not to, right? I hear that you're shooting at them. And I'm looking for evidence that it's actually happening. I don't know where your arrows are going, but your arrows are not going to them. Let's get closer. Yeah, that's much better. They'll go down much quicker like this. We've seen what the javelins on the Brincapace do before. Yeah, that's, you know, some of them died. That's what I was hoping for, to be honest. The difference this time is I have Jab Cap to run down everything. Oh, absolutely not. The Jab Cap are living. I want these. Brincapace, collapse.
The enemy general is slain, and now his men fear us. It is time to press the
Jab
attack.
Cap, get involved. Nope, continue battle.
The enemy is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield.
Everyone who is not the Jab Cav, like literally everyone except Jab Cav, back off. Jab Cav, you're just running past them. They actually gonna escape?
Rome demands victory from
Man, I
the general.
cannot kill kings very effectively, can I? Not kings, just generals, but that's been rough these past couple fights. Oh no, we got him. I just didn't see the pop-up. Never mind.
Victory and glory, Imperator.
Now, I'm of the opinion that these skirmishers are easily my worst units, and since one costs half as much as the other, I'm surprised there's so little difference between them. They look nearly identical.
Sir.
But I'm gonna send the cheaper one back to Bulla to keep it garrisoned. I could send more to prevent rioting, but I think these cities are essentially a lost cause. I'm gonna hide in these streets. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. I'm not sure it's actually working. This guy's gonna walk further down, and his buddy's gonna do the same thing.
On my way. Moving.
There is another Carthaginian full stack coming. Build me a diplomat. Why can you retrain that? Do you have a blacksmith? You do. My bad. I should have destroyed that. So hopefully the spy will be helpful. That's how I feel about the current situation. So it turns out the other most advanced faction, the Belgae, wasn't expecting that. Yeah, this second Carthaginian full stack is a bit much. We might be sending more stacks down to Africa just because it turns out Carthage is, you know, a bit of a Mediterranean superpower. And unlike the base game, stealing their major cities in North Africa is not good enough. You need to do more than just taking out this coastline. Which makes sense. They have like 20 more settlements behind this.
Yes, master.
Anyway, come further left, see what we're looking at. Another city from you, huh? We have 2 different Numidian cities here that we're gonna need to handle. 2 different Carthaginian fucking full stacks that we're gonna need to handle. None of them kings or even factionaries, just all generals. So I think this legion, half legion that it is gonna conquer all of Cisalpine Gaul on its own. The currently rebuilded legion and the thing that's following it are gonna come back down. No, just this legion. I'm not sending a second one. I refuse. And the plan for this army at this point is that it's going to be on its own. We know where Carthage's armies are. We're going to cut west, destroy, and go over and over again. We're never stopping. I wish I'd kept the elephants if I had known this was the plan. I didn't think there'd be 2 Carthaginian armies coming. I thought it'd be like tiny half stacks I could fight against. There's also a full Numidian stack as well, dear lord. That's okay. We can afford to lose Bola and Thugga. No one cared about those cities. Oh well, these have reached the next tier of growth. I'm glad I've been letting the boy raise these up for me. They're much better than they would be if I had controlled them. I don't think there's anything left to do. I think I've done all of my organization for the turn. So let's just see if Carthage sinks our ships because they just magically know where they are. That would be unfortunate. Perfect. I wasn't going to be able to hold it, so I'm glad you're sieging it. Carthage so far has not found our ships and might be tripping into an ambush. In fact, they definitely are. Idiot, I was hiding in the grass.
It's an ambush!
Yep, let's kill that. Alright, everyone's roughly positioned to immediately charge. Let's start this and immediately pause. That's not how you pause at all. We're gonna run forward here. I say here, we're gonna run forward on literally everyone. I think I want my archer shooting there. Definitely want one pre base going for this on both sides. We're gonna hold my cavalry for a hot second as we see how everything moves in response to this. I actually want to use my general to hold this until the cavalry gets there. The 3 of you are all going for this. And I want the Numidian cavalry getting involved here. Immediate rout.
This is no way for a leader to behave, but in battle, it's beyond belief.
Okay, I suspect that this is going to be everything but the general dead then.
Army is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield.
Yeah, the general gets away again. But we did just lose 14 men for 200, so it seems pretty good.
Victory and glory!
Now you're in a little bit of danger since they can see where you are from here. Thankfully, that's just one guy is walking the other way. He doesn't matter. All right, cool. That's all Carthage had for the turn. We're doing great. I'm expecting Thugga to come under siege this turn as well, considering the stacks over here, but it seems to be screwing around a little bit. Yeah. Somehow Thugga did not get sieged by one of the other 2 stacks. Still a disorder, I agree. They're justifiably furious, I would say. Alright, so looking at this, we have a very solid start to a legion. The boat's freaking out again, we gotta move it over. Not sure what's wrong with that port. I'm gonna take my faction leader and 2 of the less qualified generals in this first army. I think Cisalpine Gaul should be mostly handled. We're going to continue building buildings down here, hoping to get Syracuse to be functional. I don't have the money for that. Do I go for Greece or do I go for Carthage over here? The war really does seem to be with Carthage, and I'm forced into committing far harder to it than I intended to, so we're going to go west. We're already here in Cisalpine Gaul is the thing. Like, we're in range. I'll have this fleet come reinforce the first fleet just to make it more safe in case Carthage has boats floating around. And so I'm going to come and start sweeping through. The real question is, getting to the middle of this, do I think I can take both? And I think the answer is yes. I'm going to put my general on the left side, the weaker army. Is there just one guy in here? There's 2 guys. They're not great, but it is a general. It is a city siege. I'm going to keep it split as it is. Yeah, there was a guy in a tree right there. You're correct. Maintain siege. This army does suck, but it's kind of hard to win that. We'll see how it goes. I was hoping they'd wandered all up here, but I didn't know exactly where they were, and I looked around in the trees with the spy, so I just assumed that it wasn't, but it wasn't in these trees that I actually looked at. I didn't even realize there were trees next to the city. And we take this boat back on its way to Rome. I mean, honestly, it's not even right. We can split the boats. Take the elephant, move it to the other boat. and deliver this element up to where the war with Carthage is happening in Corsica and Sardinia
Ready to sail. Set sail.
to make that go a lot faster, because we're no longer taking it to the Balkans. There's just too much war happening in Africa. I thought it would be smaller scale than it was. I hadn't really adjusted to Rome Total Realism's expectation of how large wars are. Now, over here, I think it's pretty obvious we just go for Hippo, right? Like, we're not gonna try to stop this, are we?
Sir.
This army's trash. We have no cavalry. Yeah, I'm gonna come attack Hippo.
Forward. Attack. Besieging settlements, sir.
Are there mercs? I can't afford them even if there are, but I would like to check. No. We're gonna keep the spies moving through their lands, seeing what's coming next. Doesn't look like a whole lot's coming ever, to be honest. I'm a little bit curious to where that Carthaginian stack wandered off to. There's a ton that we need to conquer down here. All right, time for a very interesting end turn phase. Wait, real quick, I need to get control of my diplomat because I messed up. It's not like he's doing anything useful, but eventually he'll get somewhere that matters, I think.
Without delay.
Now it's time for a very interesting end turn phase. Oh, that just full on rebelled because no one bothered to siege it. How many troops do you get for that? None. It's up to the AI to come reinforce it. Neat. That's a much better system than base game rebellion. Although perhaps a little bit abusable if it consistently gives no troops. So that was all happening at like super speed. It didn't look like the Massilia actually put anyone in that city. Oh, they went for the other one, the better one. Well, let's go ahead and show them about Roman superiority. We have real organized heavy infantry. You have trash. All right. We're planning to run in before they group up, so let's figure out what's happening.
Have brought up reinforcements in a pathetic attempt to save themselves.
They've got archer superiority, I've got cavalry superiority, and that works out really well for me. It means I just want to try and use my cavalry to eliminate their one advantage right off the start. I want to position here initially, get these rocks between us, swing out wide on the cav. Whoa, guys, you're looking a little bit scattered and frantic here. And also, it looks a little bit like Gaul's not doing a great job of protecting these archers. General, break off. You are just straight up charging the wrong unit. It's very embarrassing. We'll start rotating the general again. They're in Canterbury circle, so they're not even real cavalry. Little did I know. That unit should break and die relatively soon. While this is all happening, let's do a quick check what their unit stats actually are. Right, I need somebody selected to hold eye and do stuff. It's weird. The spearmen are kind of just trash and mostly dead. Then they have, whoops, Celtic heavy swordsmen, which are actually kind of incredible. How's their Principe look? They're not quite as defensive, but they have much better attack than Principes. They're basically Principes without the pylons, so they're pretty good. These guys are just generic bad light infantry. The archers are, I mean, they're archers, so they're fantastic, but they're not great archers. I think we're still fine. Come here, come there. These guys should more than easily be able to hold their own against this. It's 2-to-1 of great troops against med troops, so that should be great for us as well. The reinforcements are nowhere near the battle just yet. Wow, it's interesting how that charge just, like, whiffed and got the wrong units. Get out. Just pull back before you start losing troops. I thought the second was routing, but I just saw that wrong. All right, General, run that down. No, do not cut hard towards it like that. You're going to get yourselves fucking killed. We have another chance here at those archers. That better not be the General in the back that was doing the stupid nay. Okay, they're good. Fight's going according to plan. I don't want these to just stop and gather back up. It's important that they stay gone. They're both saying defeat's almost a certainty. That's what I want to hear. Doing a terrible job of running them down, but I guess it's fine. All right, that unit's actually dead. Go for their Celtic Light Cav. 18 left. Fuck it, that's good enough. Come back to the fight. Light Cav should be caught, and that'll kill them pretty quickly against my Equites. All right, my general can come in on a charge against the back of this. The Equites are not losing this, are they? What the hell? Victory seems certain. Can't notice you've lost a dozen men. So the enemy general is routing, thank God. Good. With that done, crash in, and these chargers should be the end of their morale.
The enemy general is dead. His men know their doom approaches.
All right, so we can run down now. All of your new goal is this. Don't waste your pylons. We have another fight coming. Running down from here is unnecessary. Cavalry regroup. Infantry regroup. We don't want to move any closer than we have to. We want as much time to catch our breath as possible. Oh wait, what the fuck? Get out of here. What are you talking about? Where are you back? Just 3 clowns came back to die.
Be praised. The enemy's hearts are full of fear and now they flee.
So they're still attacking. They still think they've got this. What are you? Archers? Interesting call. 1 unit of Brinkapes just in case it goes on for an extended period for some reason. So what do you think you're gonna do, Celtic dismounted generals? It looks like their plan didn't exist. That'll be the fight. No, continue battle. So that's both of them stack wiped and the city conquered. Like I said, I don't need a large army to conquer Cisalpine Gaul. They're just trash unit quality compared to me. I did lose 120, but I was also outnumbered and with a split army because I was being egotistical. And all fairness to the boy though. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. That was a better unit than I thought. Their Celtic heavy swordsmen were actually just like on par with Brinkapes. I'm surprised it didn't make it further than that. Anyway, that's 1 settlement down. Exterminate immediately. I need the cash. They are furious, which is not surprising, but it is problematic. Now, let's take a look at our alerts. Agent found, coming of age. Are you in the right place? Good. Resistance is futile. No, that's super important. Faction announcements, don't care. End of turn report, don't care at all. Okay, cool. So, I can't help but notice you didn't actually re-garrison the city. I'm going to exterminate it again. Good job, 17 archers. And they forgot to conquer Bulla as well. Interesting choices by the enemies. We have a couple of immediate things that need doing. First and foremost, this heads back to Rome. If I go northwest with this ship, I can drop off the army this turn, but it's not super relevant since the elephants won't be with them. I may as well. Are you out of range? You are. Move back towards the elephants. Elephants join up. All right, we managed to figure out the problem. Apparently one of the admirals was a huge egotistical dick. Next turn, we can start taking over Corsica and Sardinia. That'll be nice. On your way to be retrained. Am I building Principes or garrison units? What's currently here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Principes. I have enough units to last otherwise. Principes it is. I'm going to plan to build 3, get 1 from Capua. Capua, by the way, needs lower taxes. Let's get through these easy sieges real quick, because I have 2 that are just landslides this turn. Can't trust auto-resolve with unit counts this low and no general, so I'll be back shortly. Oh, I really like these walls. I don't know that I've ever seen these before. All right, so we lost like a couple of men because I didn't realize we would have to get close enough to this tower to be shot on our way to the tower we did capture. My bad. What the hell, game? So I guess we're fighting here now and it's terrible. For some reason my cavalry routed to here by running through the center. Just like 5 of them, you know, never enough for it to really make sense, but it's fine, I guess, since the infantry didn't join in. But this is such a dumb way to lose Equites. Come on, hurry it up. Is that their king? That's sad for them. Yeah, they're gonna all die now. All right, you guys here. You guys just get out of it. Stop being involved. You're not gonna do anything stupid this time, are you? Oh no, you're gonna do some real dumb stuff. Okay, cool. Cool. But the Principes are throwing. The AI just stood still and let us do it, so we're good. Yeah, they're in range. They're just waiting. They're taking their sweet time. Cool. This is how it was supposed to go the first time, except everything fell apart a little bit. End battle. Cool. We still only lost 50 men, but it felt like we could have gotten away with notably less than 50 deaths. That's going to be another necessary extermination. Still furious. Still mad. Let's destroy all their random buildings that I don't want or need. Actually, do I want to try to maintain this place as a recruiting ground? It's got a tier 3 barracks currently. I think it makes sense for me to keep this. Obviously not their recruitment building and their shrine, but the rest of it, maybe. I'm wondering if it makes sense. Did you just have like a full stack right there? I think I'm going to leave these stacks separated, let them come counter siege, and then sally forth to deal with it. That seems relatively sensible. Our income's starting to look a lot healthier than it was a second ago. The main reason I just like that plan is I look at this and I look at this city over here. Wait. Are there mercs? Of course there's mercs. Okay, so I'm going to walk a little bit of the way over here. Pick up the mercs now that I know I'm in range. And use these mercs to take down Atria. I've only got the one ram, but that's enough. The garrison's trash. We'll leave behind our actual army. We'll get a man of the hour fighting this probably, or send up someone else to command. Who's the best commander here that's not the factionaire? That would be Publius Scipio at 8 command, 6 influence, 7 management, age 23. All right, my man, you seem like you're going to be important someday. Let's get you moving north. And move him to here where he can hide in the trees. I don't want to ambush this army, though. I don't want them to see me, so I'm going to stay in the corner of the trees here instead of getting more central. And he can come forward, pick up the units, gather them, and do a counteroffensive. Do I have, like, Italian mercs down here? I do. That's great. Okay, so Cisalpine Gaul is going great. We have a very short-term plan over here against Hippo. That should be an easy, easy fight. Auto-resolve, are you going to make me do it? No, you're not. Thank you. Exterminate. Don't even leave anything behind. That's where I'm at. I'm destroying every single thing in the town and going. This is scorched earth is what this is. There is no chance of holding this. I'm not even interested in trying to. I'm just interested in creating problems for Carthage. I mean, you're not Carthage, but you're on the same side.
Besieging settlement, sir.
Build some rams.
Settlement, sir.
No elephants here yet. Take these spies, start scouting around. We're going to circle back through and hit this other stuff, I guess. But first, let's look around, see what's going on. Not the best vision from that tile. I guess I'm going to move back this way and keep scouting around. But yeah, we aren't even attempting to hold this territory because we just know we can't.
Ready to say aye, Captain.
All right, I think that's everything. I mean, there's a diplomat over here in Armenia. He's definitely going to make meaningful trade deals with Parthia and Bactria someday. I can't imagine how that would ever not be the case. We're going to do so much trading with Bactria, obviously. And I think that's it for this turn. Next time, we have more to do in Cisalpine Gaul. We're going to start really meaningfully launching counteroffensives against Carthage. Well, I guess just continued offensives. They're the one doing a counteroffensive, huh? But we're starting our invasion of Sardinia and Corsica. We have another legion that can be rebuilt and returned. And it's worth noting that I should have units queued here, just not good ones. We are going to switch over to building Lucanian infantry and replacing all of these garrisons, because that's just a cheaper, if slightly slower way of getting our next legion. For now, though, I think I'm done. I think this has been a great start to this war. I thought it'd be much shorter than it was. I hadn't fully internalized that the massive map meant even when you rip the heart out of a large faction like Carthage, like I'm doing, I stole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities and a huge city from them. 6 cities, 7 cities. No, 6 cities, a large city, and a huge city. Like, that's such a tremendous amount of power that I've taken from them. They're still just a functional, surviving faction, able to mount a huge counteroffensive against me. So I had underestimated just how fantastic wars got in this, because they're so much larger. It takes so much longer to conquer a faction. They're able to fight you for so much longer after losing their most important territories. It's really cool, but it really does matter that you remember this exists, because I was already planning on, like, invading Athens and shit. I was ready to leave. And I think that's a great reason to go for Athens instead of Carthage, is you can fight a bunch of smaller factions that don't have endless warfare against them. But that's going to be coming with Legion number 4. Which Legion is which? I think that this was the original Legion, right? That we have Legion 1 under Scipio right now? No. This was the first Legion. This was the first Legion. It got rebuilt. It had the faction leader and faction heir at one point in time, but we split off the faction heir. The faction heir is now going to be leading the third Legion, which is on its way to be rebuilt in Rome, out of the pieces of Legion 1 and 2. And then the second Legion, which went to Carthage, has abandoned all defensive strategy and is just going scorched earth through their land to try to distract them. That's what Bulla and Thugga have become, while we hold and profit from Utica and the rest of the, northeastern African shoreline. It's nice to be up to 3 legions with positive income, although we're not quite there yet. It's going to be a massive income drain when these get repaired. It's going to cost me so much per turn, I'm going to go into the negatives, which is why taking and holding territory like Cisalpine Gaul is so important. But yeah, that's the strategy overview. For now, I'm done. I've been rather incoherent. I've been having a blast with Rome Total Realism. The logistics of it are so much more interesting than base Rome Total War. The wars are so much nicer. I'm not going to ramble about it anymore. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the mod team for making this incredible mod. Thank you to my one Patreon supporter, Jeffrey B. And I'm recording this over 2 weeks in advance, so hopefully it's still just the one and no one else thinks I'm being ungrateful. Anyways, see you in the next one.